It's the start of a new month, so it's time to take a look at how some Hoyas are doing. So join me with a tasty beverage of your choice close to hand while we take a look at some 2, 3, and 4-year Hoya updates. And I'm happy to take this opportunity to send out a special thanks to Leslie, who bought me coffees this week, and to Beata, who sent me a super thanks. Your continued support for my channel makes a lot of this possible, some of it behind the scenes and some of it just keeping me in Hoyas and technology. So thank you very, very much. And a thanks to everyone who took a few moments to respond to last week's question. So yeah, we're going to do a Hoya tour video. That means I got to clean the plant room. Anyway, yeah, so give me a few weeks on that one, but I'll get it underway and we'll see it soon. And in bloom this week, we've got my little monster of a Hoya obovata. See if I can get this to, I may have to definitely do some close-ups, but yeah, it's very pretty and got peduncles all up and down this vine. There's 3 more peduncles lined up to bloom. And yeah, very, very nice. The blooms, I know this is out of camera, out of range. I don't know if I can get it in. Let's see, maybe if I do that. There we go. So they're very pretty. You're not going anywhere. White corollas, dark maroon coronas with little light pink edges. I don't really notice a scent, but I'm happy I'll be cleaning up nectar from underneath this one for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, this is doing really well. It's in a self-watering pot and it really loves it. And so cool, yeah. Hoya obovata. And the first one up today has been here for 4 years, and that's my Hoya numelarioides. Now, numelarioides is native to Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, and the remarks on the herbarium sheet say Cambodia, Laos, so it's probably where Westerners discovered it. It was published in 1912 in Flore Générale de l'Indochine by Julien Noël Constantin, and this has been a really fun little grower. The leaves are, I like these leaves. They're pubescent on the top and the bottom, but it's not like long velvet. They're just soft. You know, the feel is very soft. They're kind of a matte finish. They're not glossy leaves. And yeah, this one's just done well. I think I have arrival pictures for over here. And for me, whoops, what's going on there? For me, I had this one under really bright light and it didn't seem to like it. Those leaves are so neat. They're just really, really neat. It didn't seem to really like bright light, so I moved it to much lower light and it's doing okay there. The color of the leaves improved. They're this really nice color, but I think I need to find that happy medium. So this is now growing in one of the places where I'm going to put my other set of Sansi grow lights. So I think that's going to be, because they're going to be way above this. So I think that's going to be a good setup for this one. He's growing in pond and self-watering, and there's a little bit of roots in there. And it seems to really appreciate that setup. So yeah, this one's very cool. 4 years, this one came from Peckham's greenhouse in Little Compton, Rhode Island. And this handsome little guy is Hoya numelarioides. Next up, also having been here for 4 years, is Hoya pubicalyx. Now, Hoya pubicalyx is native to the Philippines and was first discovered on Luzon Island. It was published in 1918 in the Philippine Journal of Science, Section C, Botany, by Elmer Drew Merrill. And this is, or came labeled as, Hoya pubicalyx, silver pink. And it has bloomed for me, and I should have photos of that for over here. It has done very well. It needs to go into self-watering. But as you can see, that's going to be something of a project. I mean, it's almost touching the ceiling. So it definitely needs to be retrellised, and it needs a better self-watering. This isn't a self-watering pot at all, but so it can't need a better one. It needs one. So that's one of the projects I'm going to work on when I have an afternoon. It's been a good grower. It's a very pretty plant. It needs a good cleaning. It's been growing near some other Hoyas that bloomed and dripped on it. So yeah, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it's a good plant. I'm pleased with this one. But I have another pubicalyx, and this one was labeled as Hoya pubicalyx splash. And I think he's fulfilled his job description. It's a very pretty plant. The leaves are just beautiful. They're averaging about, from petiole to tip, somewhere in the neighborhood of 6.5 or 6.5 inches or 16 centimeters. So yeah, they're very, very pretty. Let's see if we can get some of those to show up really well. And there'll be close-ups, of course, of some of the leaves because they are just beautiful. What made a big difference for this one, although he has not bloomed for me yet, was getting into a self-watering pot. And it has done very well since that move. So yeah, he's doing okay. Happy with this one. Blooms would be kind of fun, but you know, this is okay too. Both of these are in an organic mix of my standard organic mix of bark, cocoa husk chunks, sphagnum moss, and pumice. This one's in self-watering. That one is not. They are living right now in my southwest-facing window, and they do well there through most of the year. There's enough trees outside that the sunlight at this time of the year in the northern hemisphere is kind of dappled. So they're not getting blasting light, but they are getting a good bit of it. And boy, oh boy, that's really pretty. You know, when you get nice big splashy leaves that are between 6.5 and 7 inches long, that's very cool. So yeah, let's see if I can do this. Get both of them in here. So this one, the silver pink, came from Solus Plants on Etsy, and the one labeled Splash came from Briggs Nursery in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. And this is Hoya pubicalyx. Next 4-year resident is my Hoya Thomsonii, and this one has just done very well. Now, Thomsonii is native to Assam in India and to Tibet, and it was first published in 1883 in the Flora of British India by Joseph Dalton Hooker. And the comment on the herbarium sheet was Reg Himal, so I'm guessing region Himalaya. This is a really pretty plant. If you like fuzzy leaves, that's your vibe, and many of you have mentioned that it is, this is a plant for you. I'll put some close-ups because I don't think you're going to get the feel of just how fuzzy these leaves are. Plus, fuzzy and splash. I mean, yes. And it blooms. And I'm going to put pictures of the blooms over here. They are really, really pretty. I got this back before any Hoya had ever bloomed for me and before I ever thought there was a possibility of having a Hoya bloom for me. And this one didn't for a long time. It needed to get settled. But once it did, it started putting out vines and peduncles, and it's doing very well. If I keep up my end of the bargain and keep it watered, yeah, it does even better. And, well, I've not been real good about that lately. It's been we've had more 95 to 100 plus days here in the last month than we typically do in the summer. And the plant room has just been, everybody's been thirsty. So I can spend an hour to an hour and a half a day in there watering, just watering, and barely keep up. And I go through 2 to 3 gallons of water a day in there. So yeah, the pump sprayer is a big help for that. But anyway, this has been a great little plant. It is very, very pretty. It's nice to look at when it's not blooming. It's nice to look at when it is blooming. Again, those leaves are just so cool. No complaints. So this one came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya thompsoni. You're going to hear me mention Plants Wake You Up several times throughout this video, and sadly they're no longer selling Hoyas. They were a great, great seller. The prices were always reasonable. They shipped very, very quickly, and a lot of my collection is here in my care because of them. So I didn't want you to think that I wasn't including where the plants came from, so I am, but you won't be able to find them there, which is sad. But Plants Wake You Up. Thank you guys for everything. And now we move on to the 3-year residents. And the first one here is Crassipediolata Splash. Now, Crassipediolata is native to Vietnam. It was first collected in 2016 in Dien Bien province at the Ha La Chu village at a height of 1,100 to 1,400 meters. And it was first published in 2017 in Torzanoia by Leonid Vladimirovich Averyanov, Van Te Pham, and Tuan An Le. We've had our issues. Number one, it is a beautiful, beautiful plant. Those leaves are just fabulous. If you're going to use the word fabulous to describe a Hoya leaf, I think this is it. But boy, did it take a long time to start growing. A very long time. And apparently I'm not the only one who's had that experience. A couple other people have mentioned it as well. But it is now growing. Let's see there's a little bit of roots in there, but nothing major. And my regular Crassipediolata has been a good grower from day one. So perhaps there's just something about this particular variety. I should have pictures of what it looked like when it arrived, and it looked like that for a really long time. But there's new vines, there's new growth, so maybe someday this too will be a lush plant. I certainly hope so, because a plant full of that, yeah, that would be very, very nice. I would be fine with that. So this came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya Crassipediolata Splash. the next one who's been here for 3 years is Hoya species SR 2007-13 Loei province. I first saw this one on Miro's channel and felt I needed one. Those leaves were just so neat. Now, this plant, SR 2007-13, comes from central Thailand, and it was first published in 2007 by Sarisa Somadi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's supposed to have very fragrant flowers. And it was a pokey plant for a long time. But it has since decided to be a little bit happier and a little bit more cooperative, and has pushed out some very pretty leaves and good sized leaves. These are from petiole to tip. We're looking at about 5 inches or 12.5 centimeters. It has not bloomed for me yet, but I am told that the blossoms are very fragrant. But it's growing, it's happy, it's pretty. It's currently living on a grow shelf underneath a 25-watt grow light, strip light, and it's been doing okay. Let's see what we got. We got some roots down there. So yeah, it's got a good root system. The leaves they're firm. You can't, you know, if you try and fold these, do that stupid thing, they're going to snap on you. They have a sort of raised central rib and then 2 outer ribs running the length of the leaf. And there'll be some close-ups so that you can hopefully see what I'm talking about. They are very pretty. It sort of reminds me of a latifolia, but I don't know enough to say that's what it is or anything else. So, don't write that on the tag. Goodness. But it's very pretty. Since it decided to be happy and grow, it's been doing a very good job of that. So, yeah, I think this is kind of pretty. I hope it gets happier and we see some blooms in the near future. Again, self-watering pot and pond. It's under sort of sheltered light because there's stuff on each side of it that gives it a little bit of shelter. But it's been doing very well of late, and I kind of like it. So this is Hoya species SR 2007-13 Loei province, and it came from Plants Wake You Up. And back from his tour de force in my recent video, 11 big veiny ones, and I'll put a link to that, I think it's going to be over here someplace, is Hoya globulosa. Now, Hoya globulosa is native to Bangladesh, to Yunnan and Guangdong in China and the Hainan Island, in India to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Assam and Jammu and Kashmir, to Laos and Vietnam. And he's a pretty one, an absolute pretty one. Even the older leaves are really neat. And the killer about these is the underside. The fuzziness on the underside of these leaves is just, you have to feel it to believe it. It's just incredible. They're furry, soft fur, really nice. I usually say they're like velvet. And they are. It's just been the only caveat about this plant. That'll be a good idea. The only caveat about this plant is the internodal spacing can get rather long. And I suppose if I took cuttings regularly, that might alleviate some of that, but maybe not. It's got peduncles. Let's see if I can turn that enough. It's got peduncles in lots of places, but it has not yet bloomed for me. I originally had this, and I should have a picture of what it looked like when it first got here. I had it in bark and sphagnum in a net pot and a cover pot, and it did fine until it grew so much that long-term care facility couldn't support the moisture needs of the plant this size. So I moved it probably maybe a year ago, 9 months ago, to pond and self-watering, which it apparently likes. Found the reservoir, it's growing up a storm. Yeah, this is a really, really fun little plant. Yeah, worth giving a try to, because the leaves are so pretty when they come in new. But bear in mind, it has a tendency to turn into something of a monster, so just be prepared for that. You're going to need some architectural style trellising to deal with what this little baby can do. But this one's very, very fun. This one too came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya globulosa. And the next one that's been here for 3 years is Hoya scortikini, and this is the pink variety. Now, Hoya scortikini is native to Brunei, to Kalimantan and Sumatra in Indonesia, to Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak in Malaysia, and to Thailand. And it was first published in 1908 in the Journal of the Asiatic Society of Bengal, Part 2, Natural History, by George King and James Sykes Gamble. And the remarks on the herbarium sheet say Penin's Mall. So this was probably discovered by Westerners on the Malay Peninsula. I'm sure the people that lived there knew all about it. And the name, scortikini, it was named after Benedetto Scortikini, who was a missionary and a botanist and who collected plants all over Malaysia and made significant contributions to collecting and botany. So it's good he has a plant named after him. These are very, very pretty leaves. They're kind of thin. There's a certain amount of flexibility, so on the lighter end of firm. This one needs a drink, I can tell, because, oh yeah, he needs a drink. We'll take care of that. And it's been a good grower. The leaves are running around. Again, petiole to tip, we're looking at about 4 1/4 inches or 11 centimeters. Yeah, that seems to be pretty standard for most of them. They've got a great color and a little bit of splash. There's a bit of, you know, that look that like caudata leaves have, that kind of texture? There's a bit of that with this, but it's very, very pretty. I wish it would bloom. That would be very cool, because then I could see that pink part. But that notwithstanding, it's been a really good grower. It's been a very good grower. This one is currently living about 24 inches or 61 centimeters back from my southeast facing window. It gets a fair amount of early morning sun, and it seems to be liking that. It got crazy a little bit ago and just started winding all around itself. And there's like 3 or 4 vines all twisted together there, and I'm not going to try and separate that. It got all that accomplished while my back was turned. So yeah, this has been fun. Again, I wish it would bloom, but it's very pretty. It's a subtle splash. It's very, very low key about it. So yeah, it's very, very nice. I think those are very pretty leaves. And it makes for there's a lot of vine on here, you'll notice. There's a lot of vine in there, but it makes for a very pretty plant. Looks really neat. and all I want is some blooms. So maybe if I get better about watering this one, we'll see something about that. This one also came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya Scortacini Pink. And the next one is Hoya Kanyakumariana. Now, Kanyakumariana is native to India, to the southern state of Tamil Nadu. And I have been there. It's very pretty, nice people, great food. This was first published in 1979 in the Journal of the Bombay Natural History Society by Ambrose Nathaniel Henry and Mangudi Srinivasan Swaminathan. And recently someone commented to someone else's comment that they loved, it's such a cute little plant. And those cute little plants have this tendency to grow. And this is one of those. The leaves are very cool. Let's see if I can find a good stand leaves right down here. They are very cool. They are rigid. They have slightly undulate edges. And this one has just done well. It has bloomed. It has just been, this is one of my faves. I know, say that all the time about all of them. But this one has done very well for me. I just, probably within the last year, moved it to pond and self-watering because the pot it was in, it couldn't keep up with the moisture demands for this plant. There's some rootage, very pretty rootage. And yeah, so this one will do well for you too. Just give it what it needs. Very pretty. I like this one. I like this one a lot. It's just done well. It always surprises me that this tiny little plant has just turned into this little beast. So yeah, this is fun. Again, this one came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya Kanyakumariana. Next up for 3 years is my Hoya Mathilde. Now, Hoya Mathilde is a cross between Hoya carnosa and Hoya serpens, an accidental cross by Emilio Benigna. And it was first published in 1994 in Belgium. And that's where it was crossed. And I hope I pronounced his name correctly, or at least didn't mangle it too much. And this one is blooming. It's at the very end of the bloom cycle, and taking this down to show you, one of the umbrals got kind of beaten up, but they are very pretty. I've got some pictures and some other stills. This has just been, growing up a storm. Once I've kind of found out what it liked, trying not to beat up these blossoms too much, yeah, it's just been doing well. I have it in pond and self-watering in a hanging pot. And in the summer, it lives in, right over here, actually, and that is a north-northwest facing window. So it gets some very late afternoon gentle sun. It seems to kind of like that setup. In the winter, it hangs in, where did I have it last winter? I think I had it in my southeast facing window. But it's going to get into everything if it goes back there again. So we may have to find a new residence for Mathilde, and we will do that. It's very pretty. I'm trying to keep it in frame and not beat up the blossoms and everything else, and not doing a very good job of that, by the way. It's a great little plant. If you don't have one, you should definitely give it a try. It's happy to grow. The leaves are pretty rigid, slightly raised veins. This one has a nice little bit of splash, and it's been growing up a storm. So yeah, this one too came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya Mathilde. Next up is Hoya manipurensis. Now, manipurensis is native to Bangladesh, to Bhutan, to Yunnan in China, to Assam in India, to Myanmar, Nepal, and Thailand. And it was first published in 1955 in the Journal of the Indian Botanical Society by Debendra Bijoy Deb. And DNA analysis says it is a Hoya, so that's what I'm going with. And this one just produced more seeds. So I'm going to take those. And there's, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 or 12 in there. 13. They are, if you've never seen Hoya seeds, and I didn't even know this one was expecting, she hid it so well. Ooh, there's some more in here. Oh, there's another. They are little tiny, tiny black seeds attached to, let's see if I can do this, a little bit of fluff. And the slightest breeze, there's some more, will set them to floating. They're reminiscent of dandelions in the way the seeds are scattered. Just want to make sure. So when I picked this one up to show it off, it's like, oh, look, more seeds. So we're going to try again with this. I'm going to go back, and my friend Mona has a video coming out like a part 2 of how her seeds are doing. So I'm going to go back and watch those again because it looked like she had good success. And that's Plant Therapy 1860. You should check out her channel. But anyway, this is a very, very interesting Hoya. The leaves look like it should be a Dischidia. The blossoms look like it should be a Dischidia. And as I said, DNA analysis has said that it is a Hoya. So that's what I'm sticking with, because who am I? They're very neat. They are very, very cool leaves. They are firm, but there's a little bit of flex to them. You can see there are about 5 raised veins, 1 down the center and then 2 of so on each side. Let's see if there's one that will show it off really well. Maybe up there. Maybe that'll show itself off. Underneath down there. It's a very cool plant. This one started off, I should have pictures of what it looked like when it arrived. It was a very small little plant, and then it got settled in and did well for me. I had a nice little trellis. It looked nice, did well. But then it started growing. It liked where it was, and the time came to put it into a larger pot. There's not too much in terms of roots. I need a drink too. We all do. But then it took off like crazy. I mean, this is all new growth within maybe the last year. So yeah, that cute little manipurensis can turn into something big. You know, I like little leaf plants because they stay little for a longer period of time, but they will eventually grow and turn into something really, really unique. This one's been a lot of fun. Do keep an eye out for it if you like the unique look of those leaves. It's it's kind of got that like caudata look to the in that it's got that prehistoric look. But it's been a good grower for me. That's no trouble at all. It's in pond and self-watering, and it's currently living in between two grow shelves. So it's living in the fallout. The leaves are darker, so I think it can do okay. Actually, it seems to prefer, what's going on up there? Yeah, those are more buds that might be. Oh, well, you have to keep an eye on this one. So it's in lower light, and it seems to sort of prefer that setup. So yeah, this has done well. This has been a fun one. This came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya manipurensis. Now we come to my Hoya lyi, and it doesn't look very good. Now, Hoya lyi is native to Sichuan, to Guangdong in China, to Laos and Vietnam, and it was first published in 1907 in Bulletin de la Société Botanique de France by Augustin Abel Hector Lavier. The leaves are very beautiful, very, very nice. I think that's just a very interesting leaf. And if I were better about the watering, this one would look better. I have taken cuttings. I'm going to see if I can nurture this plant back to health. Because it has bloomed for me, I should have pictures of the blooms over here. And I should also have, at some point, pictures of what it looked like when it first arrived. And it did well for a while, but I wasn't paying attention to the changing moisture needs of this plant. And these leaves, the leaves are rigid. You know, they look all nice and innocent and kind of succulent. And they are very succulent. They hold a lot of moisture, but they are firm. So there's a lot of moisture in these leaves. They're pubescent on the bottoms. There's a central raised rib and some slight veining on the top. It has bloomed. Oh, it's getting ready to bloom again. Oh, there's a peduncle down here that's got buds on it. So maybe if I start taking better care of it. I think I'm going to try and find a lower light situation for it. Right now it's under a grow light. And I don't think that's the best setting for this. I think this would prefer something a little more gentle. So I'm going to see if I can find a situation for that. Maybe, well, I thought I had a thought. Actually, I did have a thought. I'm not sure it was a good one. And see what we think. It's really no trouble. It's not a rampant grower, but that could partially be my fault because this plant is thirsty. It's going to need more moisture than you think it will. So I think a self-watering pot is the solution for Hoya lyi. Yeah, I'm just going to be better about it. As I've said, it's been tough keeping up with the watering this summer. It's been so hot. And we've got like 3 or 4 more days of heat coming on. So yeah, I like this plant. I'm going to see if I can bring it back. Definitely worth it. It's been happy. The first time the blooms are really pretty too. So definitely worth trying for. Yeah. Sometimes one just like slips through the cracks. What can you do? This one too came from Plants Wake You Up. And this is Hoya lyi. kids who've been here for 2 years. And the first one up is Hoya lyi IR26. And this was formerly known as Hoya species Biak Island. And so that gives us a hint. It's native to Biak Island, near the island of New Guinea in Indonesia. And it was first published in 1913 in the Botanische Jahrbucher für Systematik, Pflanzengeschichte und Pflanzengeographie by Friedrich Richard Rudolf Schlechter. And this is a very pretty little leafed Hoya. And it took us a while to decide that we liked each other and that it liked being here. But since it made that decision, this little puppy's been growing up a storm. I think it wanted slightly more light than it was originally getting. That's very, very pretty. Those leaves are neat. And now it's grown to the point where I think I need to find a lower light situation for it. It's one of the debates I'm having about the plant room. I may need to introduce 2 more sets of shelves, which would mean moving out my desk. And I have mixed feelings about that. Anyway, the leaves are rather pretty, a nice little shape. It has been growing up a storm lately. It liked the new larger pot. There's some roots, and it's thirsty. So that'll be part of tomorrow's work. Whoops, no. There we go. But this one, since its decision to be happy, has been doing very well. And this is now on the good plant list. So this one came from the Plant Nanny on Etsy, and this is Hoya lyi IR26. Another 2-year resident here is Hoya Sunrise. Now, Hoya Sunrise is a hybrid of Hoya lacunosa, subspecies pallidiflora, and Hoya obscura, and it was crossed by Michael Miyashiro in 1992. And I found this Hoya on a trip to Loei's in Danielson, Connecticut, because that's just about a 25-minute drive away. Not very far at all. Close enough that I sometimes find myself there. This plant is known for sun stressing, and right now it doesn't have much, but even without the sun stressing, those leaves are very, very pretty. They're smooth, the veins aren't really raised, but there is a little bit of veining that you can see without having to pretend that it's there. They're very nice, very pretty. This plant, I brought it home. It was in a soil-based mix, and I don't do that. So I transferred it to pond and self-watering, and not this pot, actually. And so it's got some minor roots. And it took a while to get settled into pond and self-watering. And then when it did, it started growing, seriously growing, to the point where within a year of that I had to up-pot it. It has turned into, it's got a peduncle with buds. Where is that? That's right in, I don't know whether, there it is, right in there. This has turned into one of my favorites. You can give it lots and lots of light and they will get a lot of very nice sun stressing on it. This is one of the plants that I actually think a little bit of sun stress looks good. But even if it doesn't have sun stress, it's really, really pretty. Most folks, I think, let this trail. That's very cool. I don't have that luxury. That requires hanging contraptions and lots of vertical space in not the best locations. So I'm having this one climb. And I should have a picture over here of what it looked like when it arrived and what the blooms look like too, if I haven't already shown them to you. But this has been, I like this plant. If you can find a Hoya Sunrise, and I'm sure that people in the comments will say Hoya Sunrise, absolutely thumbs up. So yeah, this one's very cool. This has been here for 2 years, came from Loei's in Danielson, Connecticut, and this is Hoya Sunrise. Question for the comments this week is, what are you guys rooting right now? I've got a couple things going on. One of them is my Oriospart sabaensis. See if we can get that down in there. And each one of these cuttings has new growth points on it. And my Hoya exilis cutting has just decided that it's getting into everything. So it needs a pot and it needs a trellis soon. And we're going to take care of that this week. I think this exilis is going to go into pure pumice because those the roots look rather delicate. And so I think the pumice will be a good match for it. It'll go into self-watering, but I think it's going to go in pure pumice. So yeah, what are y'all rooting at your house? And as always, I want to thank you for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me this week's end. Please remember to click the thumbs up, like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. They all help to the channel to help it grow. A lot of the products that you've seen me use are available in my Amazon storefront, and there's a link in the description. I receive a small commission on the sales from the storefront, but it doesn't increase your price whatsoever. If you're in the market for grow lights, I've also got a link to the Sansi Light webpage, and there's a discount code you can use, planted in Rhode Island, planted in RI, that will get you a 32% discount from grow lights. I've been using them and I'm really happy with them so far. So yes, if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page, or there's a thanks button down here, and YouTube handles all the processes through the thanks button. There's going to be links to a couple more videos over on the side here, and please enjoy the rest of your week's end.